Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Our topic for presentation is global halal industry. So these are our presenters and also the table of content. Before that, my name is KHAIRUNNISA HUSNA binti OTHMAN. So for the objectives of our presentation are: firstly, to identify countries that develop in halal market in Muslim countries. Secondly, to know the importance of halal industry to the Muslim and non-Muslim world. Thirdly, to identify the sectors that have in global industry. Lastly, to understand and solve challenge faced by the halal industry.
My name NURUL EZZATY binti YUSOF. Now look to the introduction. First, the global halal industry is estimated to be worth around USD 2.3 trillion and excluding Islamic finance. Growing at an estimated annual rate of 20%, the industry is valued at about USD 560 billion a year, making it one of the latest growing consumer segments in the world. The global halal market of 1.8 billion Muslims is no longer confined to food and food-related products. The halal industry has now expanded beyond the food sector to include pharmaceutical, cosmetics, health product, toiletries, and medical device, as well as service sector components such as logistics, marketing, print and electronic, media, packaging, branding and financing.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is SITI SURIYANI binti ZAABAR. So we move to the next slide. It's about importance of halal industry to the Muslim world. First point is about obligation to courts and religion. That's mean in Surah Al-Baqarah ayah 168, meaning Allah say, "Wahai sekalian manusia, makanlah dari apa yang ada di bumi yang halal lagi baik, dan janganlah kamu ikut jejak langkah syaitan, kerana sesungguhnya syaitan itu ialah musuh yang terang lagi nyata." And the second is how global halal market potential. Increase 80% gap between demand and production of global halal product. And the third is people welfare. People welfare, which means that the halal industry is provide broader job opportunities and increase the safety of products. Mean the welfare is goods to consume, yakin and also safety sectors in halal industry global. Okay, first is food and beverage. As we know, halal food market is the largest consumer market in the world, as reported by the State of the Global Islamic Economy report in Thomson Reuters. Second, Islam is now the fastest growing religion in the world, thus fueling a global demand for halal product. Increased trend of consumption halal food product is ethical and safety, so it's a reason for non-Muslim consumers. So we can see the halal marketplace is emerging as one of the most profitable and influential market areas in the world and also food business today. So this statistic you can see that from 2004 until 2015 there's increase for the global halal food market. So this is an example of food and beverage. Nestle, that's, as we know, Nestle is a biggest food manufacturer in the halal sector. Many products of Nestle include medical food, coffee and tea. That's coffee and tea is very famous for Nestle, you all know. History of Nestle is very like tea flour with milk is first product for Nestle. Second, pharmaceutical or healthcare. 2 is pharmaceutical or healthcare. So first point is halal medicine are those that strictly adhere to Islamic Sharia guideline. Halal consumption is a fundamental focus of Islam. Halal medicine refers to those food and drugs that derive from halal source and do not contain any prohibited ingredients in medicine, so that such as alcohol or product of animal that are not halal, such as pork, or other substance deemed as unlawful under Islamic guideline, something like that. So for the fourth point is Malaysia introduced a new standard for halal pharmaceuticals, the Malaysia standard SMS 2424 in 2010, and then halal pharmaceutical general guideline. This is a statistic about pharmaceutical market in 2015 until 2025. So we can see that increase by years to years. So number 3 is cosmetic and personal care. For overall, for this slide, cosmetic and personal care are an integral component of lifestyle. So Muslims are concerned about the halal issue while using such product as the ingredient can be from non-halal source. So this awareness has made that Muslim consumer to demand halal cosmetic and personal care product by more spending 57 billion in 2016 with a projection of 82 by 2022. This is an example of cosmetic and personal care growth to the global cosmederms, Safi. So for the last sector, number 4 is tourism. So first point is it's refer to tourism product that provide hospitality services in accordance with Islamic belief and practice. So that for the service maybe that involves serving halal food, having separate swimming pools, a spa, and also leisure activities for men and women that's separate. Plus 2, and then alcohol-free dining areas, prayer facilities, and even women-only beach areas with Islamic swimming attitude. Third point is about Muslim tourist expenditure expect to rise more than 13% of the entire global tourism expenditure by 2020. So halal tourism has potential to go mainstream and develop as an integral part of the burgeoning global halal market. So this is a statistic for the tourism expenditure in 2006 until 2017 in USD millions. So you can see the statistic in 2006 until 2017 increased by years to years. So that's all from me about sectors in halal industry global. Thank you.
Next is a halal market in Muslim and non-Muslim countries. I will explain about halal market in Muslim countries. First, I chose a country in the Middle East, which is Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia has a few organizations that handle the matter related to the halal industry. First is Saudi Standards Metrology and Quality Organization, SASO. SASO is a third-party organization. This organization is a competent authority entrusted with all matters related to standardizations, metrology, and quality in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one such an example of country that relies on this third-party service. For example, imported goods to Saudi Arabia cannot clear custom without the correct export documentation, specifically a SASO-COC, which is a Saudi Arabia Certificate of Origins. This certificate acts as a passport for the goods to clear customs. Next is halal food market in Saudi Arabia. According to 2017-2018 Global Islamic Economy Report by Thomson Reuters shows that Saudi Arabia is a 7th highest of importers halal food and beverage, which is $48 billion. Oil importers is from the Muslim country, and exporters is mostly from the non-Muslim country. So this shows that the importance of halal food market in the world. Next is halal tourism. Saudi Arabia is the Muslim country that implement the strictest Sharia rule. For example, alcohol, nightclub, and free intermingling of men and women are strictly prohibited. Meanwhile, women are forbidden from checking into hotel or traveling without the presence of family members. Okay, the second country is from South Asia, which is Pakistan. Pakistan has population about 222.5 million people in 2020. Majority people of Pakistan are Muslim, and minority of them are others like Christians. Pakistan has the largest numbers of Muslims in the world after Indonesia. One organization in Pakistan is Punjab Halal Development Agency, PHDA. PHDA is promote halal industry of Pakistan worldwide, maintaining international standards. They introduce halal standard for livestock, beverage, byproduct, cosmetic, and other edible extra. This step will build trust on Pakistani's product, and export volume will increase. This organization premium public sector halal certification body, certifying the halal potential of and promoting the halal business of the country, developing the entrepreneurial skill of local halal traders, and creating interested linkages for halal value chains. Next is halal market in Pakistan. Pakistan is holding a very meager share in the multi-billion global halal market. The halal market is trade in food and beverage, pharmaceutical, halal meat, cosmetic, and gelatin. The share of Pakistan in halal meat is only 0.26%, which is concentrated in meat only. Pakistan, being an Islamic republic, has a lot of potential to squeeze a larger share in the lucrative market. According to a survey, there is almost 1-to-1 ratio of livestock and human population in Pakistan. Pakistan is the third largest biggest stock production in Pakistan, with a growth rate of 4.2% per annum. Livestock are fed with 100% halal food. Being an Islamic society, all the slaughtering is halal in Pakistan.
So, let's move to the next slide, which is about non-Muslim countries that develop halal market. So, in this slide, I showed to you the graph of Muslims in non-Muslim countries, and we can see the Muslim population in each of the country in 2019, and the most of Muslim in non-Muslim countries is in Russia. So we move to the next slide, which is about Thailand. Okay, we can see that the stage of development of halal in Thailand. So they have 4 stages. Okay, what we can see, the important thing in each of the stage is, firstly, in the first stage, which is halal products and also services for Muslim consumers, only judged by opinion Islamic scholar only. So it happened around before 1949. So it is the first stage of the development of halal. So the second stage, we can see it gives some effect toward the development of the industry, and it happened between 1949 to 1997. And after that, Thai Islamic Center Committee introduced the halal food standard, which is the first of its in the world. So the third stage, is Codex, was introduced from 1997 to 2016, and it was based on Thailand's Halal Standard Institute, which is launched in 2002. So the Center of Halal Science is the first to set up, and they become successfully push the halal industry in Thailand. So in the third stage, we can see the halal was become success in slowly in their country. So the last stage is the fourth stage. The halal logo will be the second brand for halal products, services, certification, and also all of it will be linked with IoT, cloud, e-commerce, and others. and it starts from 2017 until now. So that's all the stage of development of halal in Thailand. So in this slide, I put a pie chart about the population of religion in Thailand. So as we can see, Muslim population is a little bit of amount in Thailand, but it's okay. But we can see Thailand still have Muslim in their country, so they still have to develop halal market in their country. So I also put a halal logo and also halal certificate of Thailand. And now I will tell about the organization of halal in Thailand. Okay, so in Thailand we have CICHAT. CICHAT is actually the name of the Central Islamic Committee of Thailand. It is a non-profit organization and was established under the Administration of Islamic Organization Act in 1997. So it has a purpose, which is to legislate and administrate Islamic religious affairs in Thailand. It also helped to establish the halal standard and to approve the use of standard halal logo on halal products. After that, it also coordinates and supervises units that related to halal affair operations for the effective operation of halal product standards. And lastly, the important things, it plays an important role in promoting both of the government sector and private sector to develop Thailand's halal affairs department. As we can see, this slide is about the halal market in India. So as we can look at the slide, actually India is the world's third largest that have Muslim population, more than 150 million, and of course they had a big of market opportunities for halal based on the entrepreneurs. And we can see that to get halal certification in India, they have three processes. The process is different between certifying agencies, but the documents required to get the halal certification will be similar. Those companies that want to enter the halal market in India, they have to establish their identity and credibility to gain the trust of consumers. These are examples of latest population religion in India and also example of halal certificate and halal logo. So we had 4 organizations of halal in India. Firstly, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, which is known as FSSAI. And this organization was established under Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. So after that, we had Jamiat Ulama Ain Halal Trust, which is a non-government and also not-for-profit organization playing a vital role for the presence and growth of India. So Halal Trust is run by the largest and oldest NGO, and it is established in 1919. So thirdly, we had Jamiat Ulama Maharashtra, which is the organization that involved to give halal certification in India. Halal Committee is a part of this organization, which is a provincial division in it. This organization started work since 1919 and it is still active until now. Lastly, the organization of halal in India is Halal India Private Limited, which is a company that gives halal certification in India, which is marks the food or products permissible or not. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now the challenge faced by halal industry. The first challenge is lack of skilled workers is identified as one of the challenges facing the halal industry. Second, provide an understanding of halal concepts and laws to. The first challenge is lack of skilled workers is identified as one of the challenges facing the halal industry. As more and more industry players become involved in halal business, The need for qualified people to administer halal matters is priority. Moving forward, the industry needs to focus on the development of human resources to ensure the sustainable growth of the industry. Having a skilled workforce with the necessary skills and knowledge is critical. More academic and training programs in halal-related areas should be developed to train qualified people, especially in research, development, innovation, and commercialization of halal food, pharmaceuticals, and consumer products, as well as Sharia-compliant services such as tourism and hospitality. Next, second challenge. Provide an understanding of halal concepts and laws to Muslim and non-Muslim entrepreneurs. There are many entrepreneurs who do not have a deep understanding of halal concepts and legislation, openly use halal bond statements, pork or alcohol-free made by Muslim, Bumi Putra products, and any statement that carries the meaning of the product obtains halal certification from a competent authority. They also try to portray that their goods or services are halal by using names with Islamic image or by employing Bumi Putra or Muslim workers who cover their aurah at business premises. For example, in the food court of many business complexes, non-Muslim entrepreneurs will use Muslim workers or cooks or cover their aurah in front of the counter. They think the action is enough to allow them to say their premises are halal. They still have members of the community who give the opinion that it is the responsibility of the authorities to ensure that all products get halal status certification. This statement is inaccurate because in Malaysia, halal applications are voluntary. The government will not force entrepreneurs to apply for halal certification but hand over the decision to entrepreneurs whether they want their products to be halal certified or not. And the challenge faced by halal industry is provide understanding to consumers and Malaysians in general about the halal certification process and the jurisdiction and role of each body involved. Halal industry enforcement in Malaysia is different and more complex than most other countries such as Thailand, Australia and others, which is the monitoring and enforcement is carried out by non-government organisation or by the country's Muslim community centre, while enforcement in Malaysia is carried out by accredited government agencies, and each agency has its own jurisdiction and role. Even this halal certification has been introduced in Malaysia since 1974. There are many people still confused of the role of the agencies involved and also do not get accurate information on halal certification application procedures. There are many people did not realize of the existence of HDC and feel that all matters related to the halal industry are under the responsibility by JAKIM.
Conclusion is the popularity of and demand for halal certified product among the Muslim consumer have been on the rise as more consumers are looking for high quality, safe and ethical product. The advantage of halal to a product is not just a guarantee that the product is permitted for Muslim, but it has also become a global symbol for quality insurance and a lifestyle choice.
That's all from us. Thank you.